and welcome to the first episode of Nusantara Playbook, a series created to give international leaders a real understanding of how Indonesia works, directly from established professionals who have built their career in multinational companies. Today, we have Pak Adi Zamzam, the country human resource manager of multinational companies with over 10 years of working experience with various European as well American multinational companies and currently an MBA candidate. Glad to have you here, Pak Adi. How are you doing, Pak?
Thank you, Pak Deswin. Pleasure is mine. I'm doing good.
Great to have you here. Maybe without further ado, let's just go to the first question. Number one, from your experience, Pak, what indicators that make Indonesia stands out as a strategic growth market for international companies?
Okay, thank you, Pak Deswin. Pretty good question. It's probably one of the reasons why investment are coming over to Indonesia in particular, other than the regional or strategically location of countries, but also the future, the bright economy that potentially Indonesia have. I think from my personal point of view, we've always been in political flux, you can say. Every 5 years, there's a new presidential or governmental regime changes, but I think that's also serve an opportunity for businesses. That's the main, probably that's the first thing. And then the second of all is, especially the demographic surplus coming soon. Indonesia has its own target to develop a golden Indonesia upon 100 years of independence in 2045. Whether it's successful or not, but definitely it will be a main market pool, or how do you call it, potential consumers within the country. And other than that, also the last one would probably the sustainable development goals. We are approaching for the net zero emission in 2050, a global agenda, and Indonesia has pretty much potential in terms of how do you call it, forestry, which we need to maintain and need to develop, and also an idea of carbon capture. You can say Indonesia will be the predominant, well, other than other forest countries, as in Brazil, for example, but Indonesia with vast territory will be probably one of the factor for green investment, including green funding, and also in order to develop to reach our sustainable development goals. Yep.
Right, totally agree with you. Essentially, Indonesia population have a very great potential, and also the SDG and sustainability potential also Indonesia have a very big potential in sustainability, ya Pak, ya. Now moving on to the second question. What cultural competencies are most important for foreign managers leading teams in Indonesia?
Okay, another pretty good question. Deswin. Probably the main thing about Indonesia is that we are culturally different to a typical Western or even Asia, for example. That's why we are probably still left behind. What I think the competency needed for foreign managers or foreign institution coming to Indonesia is to understand that difference and also to align respective corporate culture. So it's not only individual culture, but also corporate culture wise. Sometimes we need to embed and how do you call it? We need to implement that early in the early stages in order to have a sustained organization and willing to move forward together with the parent company coming from overseas. And then probably next one is just the basic of people skill, I would say. We are given, we have 2 ears. Every one of us have 2 ears and 1 mouth. I think we need to have a better listening skill, listening for the Indonesian how would they prefer and how would they like to work, and to listen, not necessarily to go ahead with that 100%, but yeah, to have their concern heard first. Yeah. And last but not least, I think we have a generation gap, not just in Gen Z, but also in generative AI, I would say. It's coming to the future. It's coming our way faster than we probably ever realize. So I think we need to understand that the age gap and also the AI gap would also need to be what do you call it? Would need to be adopted. So yeah, we can align all those competencies into the organization knowledge and understand that for the benefit of the organization.
Got you, Pak. Definitely, totally agree with you. And on to the next question. Based on your experience, what level of localization is essential for operating effectively in Indonesia from commercial perspective and operational perspective?
Yeah, thank you. This is a very tricky question. I think the level of localization, I always consider it from a people point of view. Because I think it's always been the person behind the gun who's running the show. How would the people be operating, whether it's commercially or operationally? But I believe Indonesia would still need also guidance. So if you are talking about the country level head, for example, the number one person in the organization, you can have that person being an expat, for example. But then for the lead team, so the number 1+1, or you can say the Indonesian leadership team, you can have a mix probably for 50-50. That would probably be ideal. And I've experienced some of them who has 100% local or even 100% or majority is foreigner. I've had that experience or exposure as well, and I think it can be in two ways. So there's no one single way to operate. But definitely in terms of the second level in charge after the lead team, yeah, you can have everyone in local base with local knowledge and local competencies that would be essential. So I would limit only probably start fewer expats first, just one person. If you need some additional, yeah, you can definitely add up. Yeah.
Okay, got it, Pak. So definitely you need to be able to mix the talent localization, ya, Pak, ya. Not only focusing on expats, but also adding Indonesian talent. Moving on to the next question. It's from an HR standpoint, what regulatory theme or policy shifts in Indonesia do you believe foreign company should monitor closely before entering Indonesian market?
Okay, pretty good. It's a real case. It's a case fact-based question. Regulatory in Indonesia is pretty much annoying. And HR standpoint on this, I would probably depends on because now I'm taking care of not only the people side, but also starting from corporate affairs things, legal stuff, and then dealing with not only the Ministry of Manpower, but also Ministry of Investment, Industry, and Environment, for example, for environment license. So understand that it's quite a change that we have now. Other than the regulation or the policy just been made in 2021 with the job creation policy by the presidents, but also the online system. So technology-wise, the ministerial body in the country is starting to evolve and utilizing them quite rigorously, and sometimes being pushed for its readiness. I mean, sometimes you need to have a dedicated person to manage those things. So a government affairs, government relation person is also needed in order for foreign businesses to be able to run smoothly in Indonesia.
Got it, Pak. So essentially, you're saying that it is very tricky. That's why you need a designated person to be able to handle that, ya, Pak, ya?
Yeah.
Moving on into the next question, it would be the last question for today's session. What common challenges do you see newcomers face in Indonesia, and how can they set up right internal capabilities from the start?
Yeah. Thank you for this win. I think the common challenges, probably same if you are entering a new market, a new country, everywhere. You need to have patience. You need to have the time, not only 1 or 2 years, probably 5 years at minimum, including the main person who will run the show in the country. He or she would need to have at least probably 5 years of leadership commitment in order to give all hands or putting it all in the country and to have still have control or centralized control from the home country for especially once the team or the organization is growing. So not fully rely on that one person, but you need that one person to be available or committed for 5 years, but also have the second layer, finding the right second layer person to also commit in the country. To my experience, a lot of companies who are evolving in the last probably some of them are pretty quick in 5 years done. That's all. You can already have an established business, especially if the revenues are coming in. It's only a matter of time, but some who are probably declining, you can say, because of its industry itself. So, for example, if you're entering a tobacco business in Indonesia, well, everywhere in the world, tobacco is declining. So you would expect a decline in revenues. But yeah, other than that, you have pretty bright economic landscape in the country. Yeah. But yeah, everything will
Perfect.
take time, at least 5 years, in my point of view.
Perfect. All right. So I think that's pretty much it, Pak Adi. Thank you so much for sharing such clear and practical insights. I believe many of our viewers will have a much stronger understanding on how to operate effectively in Indonesia and how to collaborate with local teams in a meaningful way.
Yeah.
To everyone's watching, thank you so much for watching the session of the NusantaraX Playbook. If you found this session valuable, feel free to share it with your colleagues or teams who are essentially exploring opportunities in Indonesia. We will continue to bring in more experienced professional to help you navigate this dynamic market. This is Deswin from VenturesLink. See you again on the next session of NusantaraX Playbook.
Thank you, Badazman. Appreciate
Thank
it.
you.